Throughout time, there has been one aspect of anime that has given more goosebumps to us viewers than any other. Yeah, it's cool when you see some cool new form or power-up, and it's cool when good teamwork happens, but even above all that, stands the moment when the main character finally loses it. There's just some pure satisfaction when you see someone who's usually calm and composed finally snap and dish out some pure rage. Hello and welcome back, Fnatic Tubers! Today we'll be going over the top 10 MC rage moments in anime. Before we get down to it, if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to subscribe to our channel, along with clicking the bell icon in order to be notified next time we drop a video you'd be interested in. And without further ado, put your rage hat on and let's get into it. Number 10. The Raging Shield. Starting off this list, we have Naofumi from Rising of the Shield Hero. You might be thinking, what can be so cool about a hero fighting with a shield? That's, of course, if you haven't watched this series yet. But those of you that have, know that ever since Naofumi entered this world, there has been one rotten person after the other. Our main character got framed, shamed, and exiled without being at fault. The poor guy has been keeping this in for a very long time, but when one of his trusted companions supposedly loses her life to a dragon due to the incompetence of the very people that framed him in the beginning, well, you can imagine what went down. Naofumi exploded, and this resulted in one of the most badass offensive moves he has ever displayed. He goes so out of control that even Raphtalia, who is closest to him, barely manages to stop him, and gets hurt in the process. Even though he's hesitant to ever use this again, he hurt the ones close to him. Everyone else that saw this quickly found a new level of fear and respect for the shield hero. Number 9. Meliodas destroys a country. Sate. Taking the number 9 spot, we have none other than the Dragon's Sin of Wrath, Meliodafu. Since the beginning of the series, everyone was wondering how the hell is Meliodas the Sin of Wrath? He always looks so chill, right? Almost everyone thought that until we finally got his backstory, which showed him going berserk on a whole country. After the love of his life loses her own life in his arms, the Sin of Wrath swallows his emotions and gives in to his inner demon. This leads to the whole kingdom of Danafor being covered in a huge dark mass, and when Mr. Sate regains consciousness, the whole kingdom had been destroyed, leaving nothing but emptiness both in the landscape, but in his art as well. Just do your country a favor and don't take Meliodas' girlfriend away from him, would you? Number 8. Seth and Mir Double Rage. What's better than a single character losing it? 2 characters losing it at the same time. At number 8, we have Seth and Mir's Rage from Radiant. Let's start by saying this. Too many of you were sleeping on Radiant. It's a great anime. Go watch it. With that out of the way, let's talk about one of the best rage scenes of 2021. Throughout the second season, Seth had become really close with Mir's family while training and living with them. In fact, Mir was the reason Seth was able to hold his inner darkness in check. But when the Inquisition attacked and the forest was destroyed, Mir's wife Jill was the one who took the hit. She was pregnant, but lost her life, and it seemed like the babies were gone as well. When Seth goes to check on them and sees Mir grieving his wife before completely losing it, seeing this, and learning that the babies might be gone as well, Seth loses it, and this leads to one of the scariest double rage moments of all time. It's clear that we've both lost Seth and Merlin in this scene, and the helplessness we feel is indescribable. In other words, go watch Radiant. Number 7. Kaneki Snaps. Coming up at number 7, we have Kaneki losing his cool. After being tortured by Jason, what's worse than having a freak torture you just to fulfill his own personal obsessions? Having a ghoul on the inside eating at your sanity while this is happening. After having centipedes put in his ears and being cut multiple times until his hair turned white, along with the ghoul inside of him eating away at his soul, results in Kaneki finally snapping and embracing his new ghoulish powers in order to crush Jason as fast and as hard as he can. Kaneki turns off his humanity at this moment, and you can see how he mercilessly destroys Jason, as well as gives him a taste of his own medicine, by eating him at the end. Honestly, these kinds of scenes where the MC loses themselves are equally satisfying and terrifying at the same time. Number 6. Goblin Slayer's Purpose. Oi, yoku miro yo. Goblin. Taking the number 6 spot, we have Goblin Slayer beautifully fulfilling his job. After being defeated by a huge goblin resembling an ogre more than an actual goblin, he's forced to sit there helplessly and watch as the healer of their party is being beaten up and almost taken advantage of. This is until he remembers why he started slaying goblins in the first place, and completely loses it. He gets a fallen lock of hair on the ground and gets behind the huge goblin, choking him with the hair. He was beaten up and was spitting blood everywhere. But he never lost grip of the hair, all thanks to the hatred he had for the goblins in the first place. Just do yourself a favor and don't be a goblin around this guy, okay? Number 5. Itadori, Junpei's Transformation.
今まで俺の口から出た言葉は全て嘘だったんじゃないかと思えるくらい腹の底から出た本音ぶっ殺してやる
At number 5, we have Itadori losing it when he sees Junpei get taken advantage of in the Mihato arc of Jujutsu Kaisen. A big theme within Jujutsu Kaisen is responsibility, and Itadori, even though he was intensely close with Junpei, and they had a good time together, felt a little bit responsible for his mental health as Junpei himself was a bit unstable. The only time he wasn't depressed and hating the world was when he was with Itadori, and that meant a lot. Once he sees that Mahito has been playing with his emotions behind the scenes, Itadori understandably gets a little mad, but he completely loses it when Mahito tampers with Junpei's soul and turns him into a monster to have them fight his friend. Itadori himself said that when he yelled out what he'll do to the cursed spirit, he screamed so hard that it made everything else he's ever said feel like a lie. He then proceeds to pummel Mahito with punch after punch, and it was all completely deserved. And beautiful. Number 4. Rin unsheaths his sword. At number 4, we have Rin Okumura from Blue Exorcist, finally unsheathing his blade and revealing his true powers. Throughout the first season, he was forced to fight with his sword sheathed because being the son of Satan, and being in a school full of exorcists, makes things difficult. But when a Maimon, the earth demon, threatens to destroy his classmates, Rin, with all this time holding back, unleashes his pent-up rage along with his blue flames, and his sword to utterly destroy the earth demon. Talk about picking the wrong fight. Number 3. Eren vs. Female Titan. Opening up the top 3, we have Eren, who was clearly never thought not to hit a woman. But to be honest, Annie did deserve it. Revealing herself to be a Titan while within the wall, and going on a rampage threatening many lives in the process, Eren gets beaten up, impaled by rocks, and nearly loses his life until his anger and resentment gets the better of him. So much so that he turns into a Titan himself, and attacks her so ferociously, without giving her any room to breathe, that it's truly frightening seeing him lose himself so much. So, you know, if you're a Titan, do your thing outside the walls if you may. Number 2. Edward. What do you get when you combine the saddest, most bitter, rageful, and disturbing scenes of all time in one place? You get number 2 on our list. Even though this is a top 10 MC rage moment in anime, this scene might as well be on something like the saddest or most disturbing anime moments list. So if you're interested in seeing something like that, don't shy away from the comments below. We'll be sure to deliver. But back to the scene. Without spoiling too much, when Ed and Al are shown the talking chimera created by Shao Tucker, at first they were really impressed. This just adds to the shock and pure rage Ed feels when he quickly deduces the components Tucker used to create the chimera. The moment he confirms it, he instantly unloads on Tucker, pinning him to a wall and nearly takes his life with his bare fist, slamming him with his automail arm, crushing his face, and boy did he deserve it. For those who have watched it, I bet you're getting angry just thinking about it. Before we continue with our top pick, if you like this video, make sure to click the like button down below, as well as subscribe to our channel in order to be notified for future videos you might be interested in. And now, let's reveal the top MC rage moment in anime. Number 1. Gon vs. Pitou.
もうこれで終わってもいい。
What's the only pick that could possibly hope to top the last one? It's none other than Gon and Pitou. There are too many factors to explain exactly what makes this scene great. From the emotional build-up to the contrast between Gon and Killua's different character arcs, to the fact that we see the inner child in him completely disappear as he falls into complete darkness. But hey, everyone was forced to grow up in this arc, right? In order to avenge his mentor, Gon trades his life in order to become the strongest person for just a few moments to give Pitou the beating of a lifetime. The sheer image of Gon's shadow is one of the scariest things you'll ever see. He's fallen into darkness so much that the only thing he's thinking about is hurting Pitou, and even when his own arm is ripped off, he uses it as a weapon. Truly a frightening sight to behold. And there you have it, Fanatic Tubers, the top 10 rage moments in anime. Do you agree with our list? Make sure to tell us down below if we missed anything or if any of the rankings should have been different. We wish you a rage-free day, and until next time.